Hi everyone, I'm Fabian, an arborist community expert with tree stuff, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up some rigging from the ground. So let's say it's the last job of the day, it's Friday, everybody wants to get home, and we've got one limb over the house or porch, whatever it is that we've got to rig out. So instead of having your climber have to set up all of his stuff and then go up and set up the rigging, this is a simple way to set up the rigging from the ground, make it one less thing for him to do. So what I have here is a bowline with the Yosemite finish. You can do any other stopper knot here if you want, on your bowline. So what we'll do is we'll take our block and we will connect it right onto our bowline. Make sure it's tightened all the way down. Good to go. Now we're going to take our rigging line and we're going to feed it through the block because we don't want to send up the rope or the block with no rope. We're trying to make it easy so our climber doesn't have to go and mess with any of the rigging other than tying on the limb. So as we pull this up, more than likely this is going to want to feed through. So what I like to do is throw a slip knot in here. So now when we pull it on up, it's not going to feed its way back through. And one nice thing about this too is now we can manipulate it out away from there. Once we get it to our desired spot, we want to take this end of the rope, either anchor it, tie it off to the trunk of the tree, or if even better, a tree in the back, or if you have extra porter wrap, tie it off to the porter wrap. So one thing I like about this is now that we have that stopper knot in there, we can, get our line out to our climber. He doesn't have to go out to the rigging to go get the line. We can take this end and tie it off. Once he's got it tied off, we can hold these tight. This would be tied off, and then we can simply pull that slip knot out for him. And, he's good to tie it off. And once he's ready to cut, we're ready to rig, with this side of the line. And now we're done and ready to get out of there for the day. So, and then when you go to retrieve this, you untie this side, and then with these two legs of rigging line, you just pull it straight back down to yourself, and just simple as that. And it's quick, fast, and efficient. It's a good way to help out the climber, like I said. So one thing I really do want to talk about though is the forces that we're introducing with this setup. So if not all of us, but most of us might know, when we're rigging on pulleys or blocks, we're introducing 2 times the force of weight. So say we've got 100 pounds on the side of the line, we're going to have 100 pounds on this side. So we're seeing 2 times the force here, which that would be 200 pounds. But in this case, since we have 2 more legs of line that are running up and over our rigging union up there, we've got to account that there's 200 pounds on this side now and another 200 pounds over here. So now instead of having just 2 times the force, now we've got 4 times the force on our rigging union. Rather, if we would just have this terminated straight to the rigging spot. So we just have to take that into consideration on where we're picking our rigging union at. Me, personally, I like to get it as close as to the trunk and as big of a piece as possible. And this is also going to vary depending on what your size piece you're rigging, at that time. So me, I'm not going to pick out in the middle of the limb or out on the tip, because now, like I said, we're introducing 4 times that amount of force into that rigging system. So now we're going to get that much of a torque on it, 4 times the torque or bending forces there. So that's just something to consider, when setting up this type of system. Is just me personally, just get as close as to the base or something really big and strong. And that's just a quick, easy way to be efficient with rigging on the ground.